first, the most explosive man in boxing returns.
The legend of Gervonta Davis.
In his path stands fellow world champ Lamont the Reaper Roach, looking to step in and take out the Tank.
Into the battleground. Ain't gonna stop me now. This is the final round.
That power is deadly.
We coming.
It's Tank versus Roach, Saturday live on PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime Video.
Welcome, fight fans. We are live at the Barclays Center in the beautiful borough of Brooklyn, New York, my hometown. Even a Bronx legend, KRS-One, once said that Brooklyn keeps on taking it. And the Barclays Center in Brooklyn indeed have taken a crown when it comes to big-time championship boxing in NYC. And this Saturday, March 1st, is no different when one of the biggest stars in the sport, Gervonta Tank Davis, defends his WBA lightweight crown against world champion Lamont Roach in a PBC pay-per-view event available on Prime Video starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. But first, those guys have to step on the scale behind us. Thanks for joining us. I go by the name of Ak. And joining me now is my co-host, Barack the Boxing Bully, and one of the GOATs, Hall of Famer, none of you forgot, living legend, Roy Jones Jr.
Your favorite fighter's favorite fighter.
That's right. You know, when Tank fights, it doesn't matter who he's fighting, the boxing world stops. And one thing I noticed, Roy, about Gervonta, even though he's not a guy that's braggadocious, he doesn't do much outside of boxing fight week, he's still one of the most polarizing figures in the sport, and still people love to see him. What is it about Tank?
Because we always know when you see Tank Davis fight, there's a very strong possibility that he's either trying to knock you out, or he's looking for an opportunity to knock you out, or he's gonna knock you out. People pay to see boxing because they love knockouts.
Barack, he's no secret to the Barclays Center. I mean, he's set records in this building.
Oh man, you ain't lying, bro. Listen, 18,000 people in here. Beat Deontay Wilder's record. That's crazy. I think we embrace people who represent the hip-hop culture out here in Brooklyn, because you see, Tank's crowd is different from everybody else's crowd. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never see a crowd like Tank's crowd. And that crowd is everywhere, but especially in Brooklyn, wherever Tank fights. So we represent him.
You know, Lamont Roach, he's no secret to Gervonta Davis. Roy, they fought 2 times in the amateurs, twice. And, you know, Roach says that he felt like he beat Tank the first time. But you know, all fighters feel like they won all their amateur fights. But can that serve him well throughout this matchup?
The only place that serves him well at is early in the fight, because 2 things he knows about Tank. Tank's career, he's been a professional since day one. Even his amateur career, I think he fought more like a professional. So that being said, it's going to be very hard for Roach to make that adjustment or make the adjustment equivalent to what Tank has as a pro fighter.
You know, Barack, outside of him being familiar with Tank in the ring, we know that when Tank fights fighters, normally there's an aura of intimidation, just a little. Even though they're vocal about winning the fight, wanting to win the fight, the aura seems different with Roach. There's no intimidation factor. He's very confident, very comfortable around Tank during the face-offs, asking questions about the fight. Doesn't it feel a little different with Roach?
It definitely feels different. And normally I don't look in too much for the amateurs, you know, like, okay, you guys are 15 years old, that's when you fought. It really doesn't move me, but this time it's a little bit different, especially if Roach is saying, I know I won that first fight. That's a level of confidence, like I could beat this guy. And outside of that, they've sparred numerous times, trained together. I'm sure sometimes Roach probably outworked him, sometimes Tank probably outworked him, so that right there is confidence as well, and they friends.
But Roy,
you could tell they're real good friends.
Roy, when a fighter is very confident, but fighting a big puncher, one of the biggest punchers in the sport, that might not serve him well, because when you're too confident walking into a guy that could punch like Tank, that might be a mistake.
If you've been in the ring with him before, you're supposed to know his strengths and his weaknesses. Now, Tank,
but they were 15 at the time when they fought.
It don't matter. You're still supposed to know his strengths and his weaknesses. If you fought me at 15, you know I was fast as hell and I could punch like I don't know what. So same with Tank. If you fought him at 15, he was still Tank. That being said, Tank's output is only about 32, 34 punches around as a pro. But he got a 94% knockout ratio, which means he's not out there trying to outpoint nobody. He's trying to get you out. If Roach can't see that, then Roach don't want to win.
Well, Roach mentioned that you know, one thing about Tank, he starts slow because he's waiting for that shot. But if he starts slow with him, he's going to have a long night. Barack?
I think that's not always the case. I think he kind of gets a bad rap. He starts slow maybe a couple of times, but what it is just he's just a short fighter trying to do a little ring reconnaissance, trying to get to the guy. Think about this. He's a short fighter trying to get the distance. Everybody starts off with the jab, trying to keep him away. And if you make a mistake, he'll capitalize early. He dropped Gamboa in the second round, dropped Ryan Garcia in the second round. So it's not like he can't start early. It's just that he's shorter, so it takes him a little bit more time to land that perfect punch, and he don't waste shots.
Yeah, I mean, this is a matchup you guys don't want to miss. So make sure you can download the QR code to order the fight. Also, tickets are available on Ticketmaster. This is a Prime Video PBC pay-per-view event, and obviously we're waiting for that main event, right? But this is a stacked card from the beginning of the pay-per-view to the end. I'm talking about starting at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We got rising star Yoenis Tellez. He's taking on former unified champion in Julian J. Rock Williams, who at one point, Roy, after the loss to Charlo, I mean, he went on a rampage and then beat Jarrett Hurd, who was undefeated at the time, steamrolling everybody, and he beat Jarrett Hurd. He had a bright future, but then, since then, lost some big fights. So going into this fight, he's going in as the B-side. He's going in as the guy that's not supposed to win. With that mindset, how do you get up for a fight like this?
Well, the way you get up for a fight like this is if you've been in that situation before and you got taken out of it, the hunger to get back should be something that pushes you. If that don't push you to get there, then you're never going to get there.
I respect him for taking this fight because he's fighting the guy that just beat Jarrett Hurd's opponent, knocked him out back in October. So this is not like an easy fight. You coming back to fight somebody that really could give you problems.
And does he have enough left, though, to give Tellez problems?
we don't know. I'm rooting for him. I love the guy, and I think he's very talented. And even in the fight against Charlo, you were seeing that he's very good technically. He was winning that fight in the beginning. He's very good technically. And I just see him going so far if he focuses and if he still got it inside him.
Yeah, speaking of Jarrett Hurd, he's also on this card on the prelims that's going to be available for free. So you guys don't want to miss it. Even before the pay-per-view, tap in so you can get hyped. But after that, we got a junior welterweight championship showdown, WBC champion Alberto Puello. He's going up against a guy that upset one of the pound-for-pound top dogs in Mikey Garcia, right?
Who's here today.
And almost did it to Teofimo Lopez and Sandor Martin, who he's a problem for anybody. Yeah. So going into this fight, does Puello have to be very careful?
Yeah, you got to be very careful because his opponent is not just a rookie. His opponent is a real opponent. One that if you off that day, he gonna beat you. So you got to go in and be on your A game when you face this guy.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people talking about, Puello's gonna steamroll him. My man, this guy has already fought at the top level. Like, even Mikey Garcia wasn't the Mikey Garcia who was the best fighter in the world. You know, one of the best fighters in the world at the time he fought him. But even a 60% Mikey Garcia is amazing.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And then if you look that good against Teofimo Lopez, man, you done fought at the top level already. Yeah. So it's really Puello that has to worry about Sandor Martin.
After that showdown, there's another junior welterweight championship fight. I'm talking about championship fight after 4 title fights on this card. For those just joining us, make sure you order it on Amazon Prime Video. PBC pay-per-view event. Listen, after that, you got El Rayo, who's become somewhat of a star. After beating Colbert, he put the world on notice, right? But after beating Pitbull Cruz the way he did in Los Angeles, that's when people said, okay, this guy's a force to be reckoned with against anybody. And still with all that, people are saying that this fight against Gary Antoine Russell is a 50-50 fight. He's one of the biggest punchers in that division. How big does Ryu have to win to possibly get a Gervonta Davis fight or a big fight down the line?
I think he got to look good doing it, but he got a very good opponent that he's doing it against. Like you said, this is one of these guys that the whole family can fight. When the whole family can fight, he going to be a problem. I don't care who you put him there with. So put all that to the side by he going to get ran over. No, he's not. Any one of the Russells is going to be a problem for anybody. This guy just has to make sure he keep his head on right, not try to go out there and knock him out. Be smart and make people believe that if a Tank Davis fight comes available, that he has a chance.
And, you know, Gary is coming off of a loss, right? Sometimes that wakes a fighter up. Barack, I mean, do you think Gary Russell, Antoine Russell is the type of guy that, okay, I took that L against Puello, now I got to show the world I'm still one of the top dogs. Is that bad news for Rayo?
Well, it depends on how he really took that. But he's saying it wasn't really an L. It was an L, but it was a lesson, you know. And I spoke to his brother, the older brother, you know, Junior, and he's saying the same thing. He said, you know what? I think he needed this, you know. So this is going to help him and it propel him. And you know how it is, man. When you lose at anything, all you could think about is that get back. All you could think about is that get back. And that family, that's how it is. And half the family going to be in the corner with him that night.
Yeah. All right, look, talking about winning big, look, obviously, Roach is a game opponent. He is going up one weight class, right? So people are criticizing the fight because of that. I like the matchup. I think it's a hell of a matchup. And even Tank himself has said, this is not an easy fight. This guy is one of the guys that can give me trouble in that fight. Now, people say, oh, he's selling the fight. But he's been in there with him, so he's saying that for a reason, Roy.
He's saying that for a reason because, truthfully speaking, he does have to sell the fight. But at the same time, this guy is a champion one weight under him. That being said, I was one weight under James Hunter when I went up and beat James. Now, we didn't know each other. These two guys know each other. So it makes it a little bit more different, and actually it could be easier for whichever one takes advantage of the opportunity. So,
has Tank made it to where if we don't get a vicious knockout, Barack, the fans won't be satisfied? I mean, I can't remember the last time Tank outboxed somebody throughout a fight. You know, either he was down in a fight and ended the fight in knockout, or people expected a knockout from the beginning. Is that what the fans that are here in the building, the fans that are in the building Saturday and watching on Prime, is that what they're expecting?
See, yes, and the sad thing about his fans, Tank's fan, is that he doesn't have the regular boxing fans. He has those people, but the people that come out are the people that want to look good. The people that want to go to an event, they wearing their best clothes, they want to look fly, you know what I mean? That's the kind of crowd he got. So they don't know what belt you fighting for.
Is that why you wear what you wear in Tank fights? Like, you got to keep up with the crowd?
Nah. That's just me.
Oh, you dress like
I learned from Roy.
Exactly.
I watched Roy back in the day, bro. No, but I'm saying, so he has that kind of crowd that only came there for one reason, to see somebody laying on that canvas. It's sad to say.
sleep.
I mean, Roy, does he have the skill to outbox a guy like Roach and not end the knockout?
He does, because he knows what he's facing. Tank knows how to bring, this is what I like about Tank. He knows how to bring the appropriate tools to the appropriate job. He don't come there with stuff he don't need for a job that he don't need it for. He brings exactly what he needs to the job and gets the job done. Therefore,
go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I ain't cutting you off. Go.
So I think that anybody he faces, he knows exactly what tools he needs. I don't think he's going to go out there and try to outbox Roach. I think he knows he's the bigger guy. Roach is coming up in weight. We got to try to get Roach out of here, because Roach, if he comes to fight, he's going to be trying to outpoint us because he knows he's a smaller man.
But, Roy, I got another one for you. You're a guy that, you've always been the favorite in all of your fights, right? So going into this fight, is there any pressure on Tank because he's such a heavy favorite and because the outside noise, they want to see him against other big names, right? Does that put a little pressure on him? Like, I have to end this fight dramatically.
No, that doesn't, because you got to realize this. Right now, it's almost like you're fighting your brother. You're fighting your hometown partner you came up with. You know him in and out like he knows you in and out.
So you're going to take it easy on him?
No, you're not going to take it easy on him. You got to go out there and try to punish him, because he's going to try to punish you. You're giving him an opportunity, but he's definitely going to try to seize that opportunity.
Right.
So with that being said, you got to be more on your A game about this fight. Forget about everything else out there. You got to get by him.
Were you the favorite against John Ruiz?
No.
I don't know.
That boy went up to 200 pounds.
We got to look that up. I think Roy might have been the favorite.
I'll tell you how I know I wasn't the favorite. One of the guys on ESPN the night before the fight said, either Roy Jones Jr. is disillusional or he's the most confident athlete I ever seen.
You must have
really.
That is.
I don't think nobody forgot that big win. But, Barack, you can't, and this is to both of you, even though you're supposed to focus on an opponent in front of you, right? Boxing is about planning ahead. There's no question about it that Tank is one of the biggest stars in the sport, but there's still question marks out there on him fighting the guys like Shakur, like Teofimo, other big names. He did it with Ryan, and we know how good Ryan is at a comfortable weight. He showed against Devin Haney. So what is it about, how can you plan ahead and still focus on the fight in front of you?
Well, you already know what you want out of boxing, and you know what lies ahead. You know what obstacles are out there. But right now, you dealing with your neighborhood. You understand me?
Yeah.
Right now, you got a guy from your neighborhood coming at you. You got to handle that, or you ain't going to be able to go home.
Right.
So it's easy to stay focused on the prize at hand, because This guy, if I don't beat him, you can forget about all the other stuff. The hood ain't gonna let me go nowhere until I beat him.
Worry about that Sunday, next day.
You feel me?
Right. I mean, you can't even get to the other goal if you don't get this one.
Well,
So that's how you stay focused on the first one.
For the first time, we've heard him say, "I want to fight 3 times this year." I can't remember Tank ever saying that out loud, that he wants to fight 3 times this year. Now, we're early in the year,
Right.
March 1st, tomorrow. Make sure you guys order that fight on Prime Video. But he's already planning ahead if he's thinking about 2 other fights.
Well, we always think that we want to fight 3 times a year because we don't plan on losing. So
That's true.
Nobody plans to lose. So, yeah, you want to fight 3 times. Who, we don't know, but he's not planning to lose or he wouldn't have said that.
Well, and if he's really retiring, then he's planning on making as much money as he can. So he's like, I need 2 more fights to make another $100 million all together, and then I'm good.
One thing I don't believe is Tank retiring this year. 30 years old.
I don't know.
There's so many big fights out there and so much money for him to make. He talks about money being important.
Yeah.
There's a gang of money waiting for him for other fights.
Right, absolutely. But who? See, the thing is, when you're Tank, Canelo, Floyd, those guys like that, there's a gang of money really no matter who you fight.
All right.
That's the thing. And
Barack is such a Floyd fan. He's still talking about Floyd. He's been out the ring for so damn long.
Come on, man. It's a fact, though. It's a fact. People want to come see you. Roy, too. Roy was one of those guys that people just want to see you. Yeah, if you fight somebody famous, then it's more people there, but they'll see you fight Joe Schmo. They don't care.
Guess what nobody else is talking about, Roy? What if we see a big upset on Saturday night, March 1st, and Roach does pull out the biggest upset? That messes up everything up in those divisions.
No, it don't, because like I just told you, it don't mess it up. That means that before I go anywhere else, I got to come fix this situation in the hood.
And we know that's a rematch clause in that contract, so it creates more drama for another bigger fight.
Of course.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And nobody's talking about that. And I think that's the fuel that Roach needs to really go in there. You see, he got a lot of respect.
Yeah.
He got a lot of respect. Even though he knows him, even though he seems very, very confident, listen to the way he talked. When he was with us on the Breakfast Club, he was like, yo, Tank really got a bag with him.
Right.
So he got a lot of skills. I guess the common fan, the casual fan think, oh, he's just a knockout puncher. But no, he sets you up. He's a very, very skillful fighter.
Yeah, and he said, listen, you guys want to make money? He said he's betting on himself. You want to get rich? Make sure the odds are crazy. I mean, yesterday I checked, and in order to win $100, you got to bet 400 for Tank to knock Roach out. So the odds are crazy. So he says, you want to make big money, make sure you go to DraftKings for that, obviously. So I'm feeling risky, but I'm not feeling that risky. I don't want to bet 400 to win 100. I mean, how do you see this fight playing out, Roy?
Well, I ain't sure if DraftKings paid him to do that or not, so I'm not taking that bet either. But like
you ain't risking no money.
No, I'm not. But like I said, if I got basically $30 million on the table to go fight Shakur, and I got to fight this guy for $5 million, and this guy is not as dangerous as Shakur, I'm gonna take that easy $5 million. If I got $30 million there and I got $30 million here, it don't really matter. So for me, I think Tank kind of knows what he's up against right here. I think he got it already figured out because he's sparred with him so many times. And I think this is the safest yet best money option outside of Shakur Stevenson right now.
Let's talk about history a little bit. Look, Tank obviously is one of the biggest names in the sport, the biggest money makers, which you were at one point, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's pressures of fighting certain people. I know there was pressure for you to fight James Toney, and you exceeded when you got those opportunities. Does this affect Tank, hearing all the noise about who he hasn't fought? How did you handle that during your time?
Well, the way you handle that is that they're talking about who you haven't fought, but they're not worried about who you fighting because they can't see that. They're too busy worried about what they want. But you got to get past all this to get to what you want. So what I'm saying is there's a dinner table over there, but they got dogs that bite all right there along the way to that dinner table. Right. I got to deal with these biting dogs to get to that dinner table. So I better be worried about these dang on dogs before I worry about that dinner table.
So though the fans, to your point, you're right, they're not going to be in the ring fighting with you, so you have to focus on what's in front of you. But at the same time, don't you have to cater to the fans to some degree, because those are the fans that are making you the money, buying the tickets, buying the pay-per-views. doesn't part of you have to please the fans?
Why you think I'm going through them dogs trying to get to the dinner table?
Yes.
When I get to the dinner table, they're going to get what they want.
Okay, so.
But y'all forgetting it's dogs here on the way to the dinner table.
Yeah, that's true. We should give him credit.
Yeah.
Give him credit for each dog that he beat.
You got to.
But what if he goes out this year, fights 2 more fights, but none of them is Keyshawn, none of them is Shakur, and none of them is like Teofimo, none of those guys.
Y'all didn't say that when Floyd did it.
Floyd already beat 20 champions.
But still, y'all didn't, when he fought the guys, he didn't fight Pacquiao for a long time.
Right.
Nobody got mad and stopped watching him.
Yeah, but to your
But they
point,
complain.
bro,
I'm just saying
They
people are
complain.
complaining.
They complain, but
I see Tank as one of the best I've ever seen.
how you gonna complain about Tank when Tank give you knockouts?
Yeah. No, there's
Can't
nothing
complain
to complain about.
Like,
Like,
can't complain about that. He
You know-
give you knockouts against known, top-ranked, top-known
People
fighters.
always find a way to complain.
Of course,
Shakur just
but-
got a knockout the other day,
but
and they
I'm just
complained it was too late.
But I'm just saying he shouldn't be worried about that because
Oh, there
they
we
still
go.
coming to see him.
There we go.
Yeah.
no question about it. And in reality, I've on record saying that Gervonta is one of the most skilled fighters in boxing. Because he's scoring knockouts, it doesn't mean that he isn't a skilled fighter.
You was on a record. You was on a record saying that. Yo, Gervonta's a skiller.
Well, look, they asked us on the Breakfast Club, does he have any hoes? No, he really doesn't have any hoes outside of starting late, but that's part of his strategy.
And I'm not gonna say he starts late, like I just said earlier.
Yeah.
He brings the necessary tools to the table. Devin Haney should have took note of how he started with Ryan Garcia. He made Ryan move, got used to Ryan's rhythm first. Then he started attacking Ryan. Devin came around and fought Ryan, and look what happened.
Yeah, and if you're
Devin
winning,
pushed him.
and if you're winning by knockout, then who cares when you start? Right, the fight is over. You got the end result that you wanted,
Should be.
and please the fans.
Should be, but like I said, they complained about Shakur Stevenson the other day, and I always felt like even young Tank, kind of had that older Floyd Mayweather mentality. Like, I don't care, I don't call people out, they come to me. Like, since he was the champ in 2017 in this building right here in the Barclays in Brooklyn, he's always felt that way.
So is Floyd to blame for that, for kind of rubbing off on him?
I don't want to say to blame. To blame would mean that you don't like that style. I respect it, but there are going to always be fans that don't like it.
What I like about it is people like Floyd and Tank, they take control of their own career. They don't let you dictate what they're going to do. They do what they want to do, and that's what they're supposed to do. So I do respect that about them.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, these fans, they're not going to take care of you when it's all said and
No,
done.
they're
When
not.
you retire, they're not paying the mortgage, they're not paying the bills. But right now, they are.
People don't realize that these boxers fight a small window and then got to live 30, 40 years without a paycheck.
Exactly.
You know? So, yeah, you're like, okay, yeah, invest your money. In what? Okay, you show me what to invest. I was making $4 million in one night. Now what? You know, so I'm not mad at the fighter that says, I have to break the bank. I have to make as much as I can because I'm going to retire at 32 years old and live another 40 years.
But what about legacy, Roy? What about belts and titles? I know as of late, it seems like more and more fighters are giving less respect to the titles and the legacy and only the money. Is that a mistake?
And it's not really a mistake, but that's when I learned even more respect for Floyd, because Floyd say, I chose currency over legacy. And a lot of guys do that, and you have the right to do that. You understand? You don't have to be in this game for the legacy. You can be in this game for the currency. Just tell that truth all the time. You understand? Don't tell me you're the best fighter in the world, but you're in it for currency, because it's kind of hard for me to juggle that.
Now, when
You
you
know what
say it like that, I respect it.
That's what I said. He
When
said
you-
that like that.
Right, when you say it like that, I respect it. I get it. But even Floyd, he said he chose the currency. He still fought champions.
Well, he did.
He still fought.
He did.
You can't really complain about Floyd's.
I'm not complaining about it.
No, I'm talking about people do, though.
But I think it's beyond belts at this point. I think it's about names, right?
Tank is bigger than belts, though.
No question about it. But I'm saying I don't think necessarily people care about Tank fighting for more titles. They care about Tank fighting certain names.
That's right. That's right.
But let me say this. If Roach wasn't the WBA junior lightweight champion,
Yeah.
this fight would be nothing.
It wouldn't make sense,
You know what I'm
right?
saying? It
You're
wouldn't make
fighting
no
another
sense. No.
champion. Yeah.
You're fighting a champion that's
I
in
got
the
you.
weight class. You got to do that. But
got you.
because he's the champ, that can happen.
That's
if
a
he
good
wasn't
point.
the belt, if he didn't have a title, we don't want to see you fighting a 30 pounder that don't
Right.
have a belt.
Right.
He ain't even the best in his weight class.
Right.
Why we want to see you fight him?
Right. When Terrence
feel me?
Crawford moved up to 147, he was able to fight the champ easy on the
Right.
first shot because I was just the champ down at 140.
Exactly. So the belts do
sense.
mean a little bit.
They do. Listen, I think that at some point he's going to be in those big fights that we all want him to see in. I think Tank has a competitive spirit in him that at some point it's going to prick him and bother him a little bit that people are complaining of him not fighting those names.
But what I like about it, what I'm most intrigued about, is the fact that Floyd did teach him one thing. You be your own boss, do what you want to, and you get ready. And that's a beautiful thing to me because not many people can adjust to that.
All right, well, listen, he hasn't got on the scale yet, but he's going to get in the seat with us right now. Lamont Roach, what's going on, Lamont? Listen, we've been talking about the confidence that you've shown all week, right? And people are saying, already thinking about what Tank is going to do next, right? Who's he going to fight next? The names that people want to see him looking past you. And your confidence aura is like, keep thinking that. Keep thinking that.
Yeah.
What is it? What gives you that confidence?
Man, he got a fight ahead of him Saturday. We're going to see what they going to be asking about after this fight. So that's what I'm saying. You can't count your ducks and have them lined up in a row before they hatch.
All right, you know I always keep it a buck. Literally, we was up here talking for about 10 minutes. We mentioned your name maybe twice and Tank's 15,000 times.
Yeah.
That gotta bother you, bro.
No, it don't necessarily bother me. I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm understanding of what's going on in the world, what's going on in the universe, especially what's going on in my life.
Right.
Obviously, he's a superstar. A lot of people seen him, and a lot of people haven't seen me.
Right,
so,
right.
You know, it's cool. Like, but I'm telling you, Saturday night, that little narrative gonna flip. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, we also talk about your confidence, and we was like, okay, where that confidence come from? The confidence come from you knowing him. You said outside of this, that's the homie. You probably root for him every time he fight.
Yeah, I'm a boxing fan. And he can fight. So yeah, I like to see good fights, and he's a good fighter. Outside of he is cool.
You know what I want to really, really know? We all want to know. What was y'all whispering to each other, bro? Was y'all talking? Was he being respectful, talking crap to you? Didn't want mommy to hear?
Nah, it was more so he thought he had one up on me. He thought he heard something like say for instance he thought he had a mole in the camp or something.
Oh, like he always do.
So, yeah, like he always do. He said that I was injured or something like that. I was like, all right, well keep believing that, but I know what you did when you went back home mid camp.
Oh, so you got some
I
dirt.
really know. Yeah, he ain't gonna talk about. He said, "Oh, I wanted you to know that." Yeah, right.
So your team, your team is tight.
Yeah,
you ain't got no moles
sure.
in your
I ain't
team.
got to worry about
No
none
moles.
of that. None of that.
So look, you mentioned that you guys fought twice, and we talked on the Breakfast Club. You said you felt like you won the first one, but you were 15. It was amateur. It was headgear and big gloves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Tank is a knockout artist. Are you going into this fight a little more cautious because people are expecting, everybody in the building is expecting for you to get knocked out? What is the game plan to avoid that from happening?
Man, everybody gonna be disappointed if they expecting a damn knockout from him. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Right.
And I'm gonna go in there. I'm aware. I'm a fighter, bro. I'm aware. I know I know that I have a chin. The more you go in there worrying about somebody's power, the more likely it's gonna happen that power gonna catch up to you. I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna let them worry about what I got.
Right. Let me borrow those green contacts.
Oh,
you
which
know,
ones?
for tomorrow. You know, those green contacts you got on. You know what I'm saying? I got something to do later.
The light making it look like that, bro.
I hear you. So all right. So check this out. All this talk is about okay, who Tank gonna fight next? He gonna fight. Who you gonna fight next?
That's what I'm talking about. That's the question right there. I want to unify at 135. Me and Shakur already talked to each other, and if he's available and we can line it up, that's what we're going to do.
Really? Wait. Y'all spoke like this? Yo. Let's get this popping.
For sure.
What
Like
are you
that.
talking about? If he beats Tank, he's fighting Tank again. Obviously, there's a rematch
But
going on.
obvious.
we talking about past that. We talking past that because you got to give him the option and tell what he gonna
Yeah.
do. So you talk personally to Shakur, no managers,
Personally,
whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Personally, he cool.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. So you're now officially moving up to 35?
I mean, we gonna see. I mean, like so I'm gonna be the champ at both weights.
Right.
And if there's no opportunity to unify at 35, I want to unify at 30. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen. So
Which belt means the most to you?
I would say for the time being, this championship at 135 because it's another goal on my list, another notch under my belt.
Wow.
And it's who I'm doing it against.
Yes.
People are complaining with the fact that you're moving up one weight class, right? But that might serve you well. Maybe you're stronger and more comfortable at 135.
You saw that?
Is that the
grin,
case?
a sneaky grin?
You can
sure.
eat a little bit more.
Yeah.
How stronger do you feel at 135?
I feel great, man. I feel strong. It's very comfortable. I drank half a Pedialyte already before. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm ready to get on the scale and show the little physique I got going on. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you ain't got no attitude right now because you ain't really that hungry.
hungry.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
Okay.
I'm cool though. I'm comfortable. I mean, I work really hard, And you know, I'm in great shape. I'm in tremendous shape.
So you in our hometown, Brooklyn. You know, I live down the block. You know,
Yeah.
before I moved to Jersey. Are they showing you love?
Yeah, I think so. In person, yes, 100%.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
they showing me love. They
Gotcha.
are.
Yeah, because people talk on their podcast. Oh, this was going to happen. As soon as they meet you, hey, how you doing?
Oh,
How you
man,
doing,
yeah,
sir?
yeah,
How are you?
Real frantic, like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Is this what you imagine, like as a kid, right? I mean, you fought tons of amateur fights and wanting to be on a big stage. I know you fought on big cards before, but headlining this type of card is new to you. Is this what you imagine as a kid?
Yeah, it is. It is. It took me a while to imagine this because, like, once it's up until the point where you really decide that, all right, I'm gonna do this for a living. So when I set out to do that, my cousin always told me, man, you're gonna be one of the best to ever lace up a pair of gloves. I know you know Bernard Boogaloo Roach.
Of course.
Yeah. So you know, it's just about turning my dreams into realities, and this is where I'm supposed to be.
So in my opinion, now I'm just saying, I think you and Shakur would be the best money fight after this fight.
Definitely.
Right? If you get past the two of them with Tank. So wouldn't you be more likely to unify the 135-pound belt
Yes.
over the 130?
For sure.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, for sure.
So talking about eating, like before you get out of here, what does Lamont eat after the weigh-in? What's your favorite meal?
After every weigh-in, I don't care what time it is, I like breakfast. I gotta do breakfast. I just don't feel right, like if I ain't had no breakfast.
So is that pancake, eggs, bacon, and stuff
I'm
like
gonna
that?
Yeah. Today we're gonna go to. I think we're gonna go to the Golden Diner.
Oh,
We're gonna get
best pancakes in the
There you
world.
go.
man.
Where's that?
Golden
There
Diner?
you go.
What's that?
There you
Golden
It's a
go.
secret. I can't
There
tell
you
you.
go.
What the heck? Junior's is right down the block.
Nah, Junior's
I thought he was going to say Junior.
We've been
What's
Junior's,
Golden
man.
Diner?
I like Junior's,
How
though. I
you
like
not
Junior's.
telling me what Golden Diner
The
is?
Golden Diner, man. Best pancakes in the.
Where the hell is that?
That's
Oh,
it. They're
might
not
be
giving
best
us,
pancakes
they
in
ain't giving us
America.
any money, no checks, enough for the Golden
All right.
Diner plug. Listen, thank you for joining us.
No
We're
doubt.
looking forward to this matchup tomorrow
Appreciate
night.
it, man.
Lamont,
Appreciate it. Y'all gonna be in
Roach.
store for a good fight.
And good luck to you, too.
Thank
Good
you,
luck.
brother. I
Good luck.
appreciate it.
Now, I'm hungry. I want some pancakes and stuff like that. Look,
I'm upset. Y'all ain't telling me where this diner at. That's what I'm saying.
I'll
What's
tell-
Golden Diner?
we'll talk about it because we're hungry. Take it easy, Lamont.
I think you don't know where Golden
I do,
Diner
I
is.
do, I do.
No, you don't. You don't know. Lamar, text me where Golden Diner is. 'Cause this dude don't know where Golden Diner is.
Best pancakes in New York City.
You lying.
Look, Roy, I mean, just seeing Lamont sitting here, how comfortable. I don't see him shaking. There are no nerves there. Do you sense that? Are we going to see something that we don't expect tomorrow night?
No, we're going to see exactly what we expect. The thing about it is, everybody thinks they got a plan until they get in there, right?
Yeah,
But the good thing about him is he already been in there. So he does have a plan.
that's true.
It's just how well can he execute it. So he's not nervous because he knows the game plan. He's been in there. Like they say, Tyson say, they all got a plan till you hit the mouth. No, he been hitting the mouth already by that. So he know what it is already. So what is there to be nervous about?
One thing he mentioned is that I know I can take a punch, but do you really want to take a tank punch?
Well, the thing about that is that's not good because taking a punch in amateur gloves or 16-ounce gloves and headgear is totally different than them 8-ounce rivals or them 8-ounce Reyes or them 8-ounce Grants or the 8-ounce Everlast. All that changes the game.
Right.
So taking a punch ain't the smartest thing to do with Tank with them little bitty gloves on.
So he needs to be cautious.
You better be cautious.
Yeah, and that's not his defense. You know, taking a punch is not. It's not like Carl Froch. It's like, yo, I got an iron chin, and he take a lot of shots.
Right.
Nah, this guy, he has. I think his defense is underrated.
Right.
If you really study, he catches a lot of shots and slips a lot of shots. So he's just trying to say that it is not going to be that easy to knock me out because I got a tough chin along the way.
Because people expect for Tank to do what he does, score knockouts, right? If this fight does go to decision and Tank wins the decision, will that kind of taint his knockout type of repertoire, right? Because I remember, and just to use this as a reference, I remember going into the Mikey Garcia-Errol Spence fight, people were saying Mikey is the better boxer. Mikey's the better boxer. And Errol said he carried him through that fight so he could show the world that he can outbox the guy that was supposedly the better boxer. Will we ever see Tank just outbox somebody?
That's a good analogy. I mean, we seen him do it against Cruz. He had to. He hurt his hand in the 10th round. But then again, if you hurt your hand in the 10th round, that means there was 9 other rounds you didn't knock him out.
Right.
Because it's tough to knock out the guy that's fighting like this because you're only hitting the top of the head. It's hard to knock him out. You know, so, yeah, I think if it's a good fight like the Cruz fight was, That's all people want to see.
But
They
would
don't
it-
necessarily need to see a knockout.
But will that affect his aura?
No, that won't affect his aura at all because you're not fighting a guy that you don't know. You're fighting a guy who knows you in and out. You fought twice as an amateur. You sparred numerous rounds growing up. You're fighting a guy that knows you almost as good as you know yourself.
Yeah, and I think what makes the fight intense, when you know a guy can end the fight with one punch, it keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole night waiting for that shot to land.
Wise person must have said that one time. You
And
know
that's
what
why
I'm
all these fans are here.
saying? Oh, I thought they was here to see you.
No. My day is over with. They didn't see that.
I hear you, but
Oh, so no
It reminds them, though.
yeah.
no exhibitions, nothing for Roy coming up.
Nothing for Roy coming up unless Jake Paul get froggy.
Get frisky.
Oh, so that
You
might
get a little frisky and
I
froggy.
mean, I ain't never ran for no fight. Y'all know that.
that's for sure.
So it's like if he got frisky and said he wanted that,
Right.
back to the lab, we got to go.
I got to ask you, Roy, though, what did you think about the Paul Tyson fight since you shared the ring with Mike?
I didn't think Mike came out and did what we expected him to see from Mike. I thought Mike probably deteriorated a little bit more in that 4-year span.
Yes.
Because when he fought me, he was at my behind all night. He was right there in my face all night, and I was
He had
moving.
better legs.
And I'm a better mover than Jake Paul is.
All right.
And he still was keeping up with me. So.
Yes.
All right, we got a
Oh, my
rising
God. What's up, baby?
star, and even though you've been in the game, Jose, I still call you a rising star because your coming out party was against, people thought it was against Cobra, but it's really against Pitbull Cruz. How much confidence did you gain just within yourself after watching your own performance?
It was great. Good confident booster for me. You know, it was something I always knew I could do. I was really a boxer, you know, growing up. When I got to the gym, 10 years old, I was very athletic. I used to dance around. I was a lefty. I watched fighters like Pernell Whitaker. But, you know, as I got older, I switched my style up, you know, for the pros. And I fell in love with the power. So it was just a matter of me getting back to knowing what I knew how to do.
And you did that well, surprised us all. I didn't think you could beat him just because I was rooting for you. Secretly, I was like, he gonna get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you proved us all wrong, man. So congrats on that. I had to congratulate you face to face.
Thank you.
But I didn't really think you got the credit you deserved when you beat Colbert. People was like, oh, you lost the first one. Oh, you got that knockout, but he's gonna knock you out. How do you feel now? Do you feel like you're getting respected as a champion?
Little by little, you know. But I think this was gonna be the
icing on the cake.
The icing on the cake, yes,
Right.
sir. I had to, get in my bag after that tough loss I took with Edwin de los Santos. I shook all that, shit off, excuse my language, but, I went back in my bag, man, and I was like, I got to go back to knowing what I know how to do, and that's box.
Right.
And, and that's what I'm doing. So, right now, it's a big fight. Me and Gary, he's a tough fighter, but I'm prepared for this moment.
So in the back of your mind, are you thinking like, if I perform really well, and let's say I get a stoppage of a great guy, Gary Russell, maybe they gonna throw me in there with Tank. Are you thinking that?
Yeah, man. Tank, Teofimo Lopez.
Oh shoot.
Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. I want to be up there with all those guys. I know I got it in me.
But if you do get, and not looking past Russell, because you know how difficult that fight is going to be
Definitely.
tomorrow, but are you willing to go down to 135 if that was the only option to fight Gervonta Davis?
Nah.
You're done with
that. I got to 140 for the Pitbull fight. I only gained 8 pounds for that fight. So since then, I've dedicated myself to put on the weight, become a real 140-pounder, gain more, experience and grow. And I would be throwing all that away. And, for what? I'm a champion at 140, and I feel like there's big fights here as well. So
Well, you beat a dangerous guy already, but stylistically, do you think Russell is more dangerous than Pitbull?
I think you could say that. Yeah, he's a lot tighter. Defense, hands are up. He's up close and personal.
Right.
Pitbull, he's shorter. He throws overhands. So the movement is going to be different.
Right.
Where Pitbull had a roll, with Gary's going to be different.
A lot of dangerous names at 140. Obviously, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia shown what he really can do in that weight class. Who would you say is the most dangerous opponent or the biggest challenge for yourself out of the other top 140 pounders?
I can't really say,
Just looking from the outside. And
I've been in there with Teofimo,
Sparring, though. It's different.
Right. Yeah, it's different. So
Tell us about that. Don't just throw that out.
I mean, it's out there. People know what I did to him. So
wow.
I mean,
Well, for those that don't know,
what you do?
what you did to him. You gave him that what?
I folded his ass. Man.
Oh, you folded? Body shot?
Body
You folded
shot,
T.O.
Yeah.
Is the footage out there?
No, there's no footage. I was a young kid though at the time. I was 18, but
Okay.
you know, he was a hot prospect. He was a very hot prospect at Top Rank at the time, and you know, I went in there, gave him my all because I thought that would get me signed. I wasn't signed at the time, but you know, it didn't. So
No, we gonna fact check that.
yeah,
I'm
go
letting
ahead,
you know.
man.
Okay.
Oh
okay.
yeah, man, do your thing.
How you gonna fact check that? Who do you know was in the gym
Oh,
that
you,
day?
you asked
I'm gonna go Teofimo to his face.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, yo, that's all.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sparring. It happens. You know, it's totally different. I know a fight would be totally different, and you know, I would become 100% prepared for that.
Right. Okay.
All right, so he's not the most dangerous, in other words.
I mean, I don't know. You know, you can't say that because you know a fight's different. So, but I've at least been in there with him, and I know I can hold my own with him.
So, who's your dream fight then? Which one of those guys is your dream fight? You feel like your life gonna change if you beat that guy?
That's a good question. I feel like my life changes after this victory Saturday night.
Exactly.
All right, I got you. That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
What'd he say?
After Saturday night, his life is going to change.
All right, so line up. I know you asked him for one name, but if it was up to you and you could line up your next 3 opponents after Russell, if you get this victory, name those 3 guys in the order you want them in.
I would like Tank. If I can't do Tank, if he doesn't want to come up to 140, I like Teofimo Lopez. If Teofimo doesn't want to do it, we have Puello. I would also love to fight Shakur Stevenson. I know many people don't want to fight him, but I feel like we match up stylistically very nice. You know, I'm 5'10". He's used to fighting shorter guys. You know, I'm strong. I'm bigger. So I think I wouldn't have such a hard time closing the distance. You know, I cut the ring very well, and maybe even move up to 147 and fight Barrios or something like that one day.
Wow, 147. Well, look, I see you part of the beard gang now. You got a whole new look going on.
Thank you, man.
Looking forward to seeing your skills displayed tomorrow night.
And that was a wonderful display of boxing and punching when you fought Cruz. That was an awesome fight.
That's a huge compliment hearing it from you.
I didn't know you at the time. I said, this guy can box and he can punch. I mean, I love the fight you fought.
Thank you.
know? And like he's saying, styles make fights.
Right.
So it depends on which style would be most difficult for him. He don't know that until you see it.
You step in the ring with him.
Yeah.
Right. Well, good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, guys.
Right.
Good work, brother.
Thank you, Joe.
Yes, sir.
You know, Roy, I agree with you on this. You know, this young man, a lot of people weren't familiar with what he can do in that ring. And that was a big stage. That's when Terrence Crawford fought Madrimov.
Right.
And that was a co-main event. People felt that Cruz was going to walk through and steamroll him, and he surprised the world, put the world on notice.
Shocked everybody. I mean, shocked everybody. I mean, I was baffled myself because I didn't know it.
Right.
So I wasn't expecting it. I thought, okay, they're going to give Pitbull another guy he can just run over.
Right.
Nah.
Is it safe to say that he beat Pitbull better than Tank did?
Yes, he did, without a question. Yes, he did.
Absolutely
Yes, he did.
better than him. Like, it was no one question. People was trying to say Cruz probably beat Tank. I don't think so.
No.
But that's what they were saying. I was calling that fight with Rayo and Cruz, and I was mesmerized. I was like, this kid is special.
And the thing about it is, like we said, the reason he beat him, not because that don't mean he's better than Tank.
Right.
Styles make fights.
There you go.
Pitbull and Tank close to the same height.
Right.
Yeah.
He's taller than both of them.
Yeah. Well, speaking of styles, how does his style match up with Tank's, in your opinion?
Same thing, same way as there with Pitbull. He just got to be a little bit more safer because you can't give Tank the same shots, or you can't allow Tank to hit you with the same shots they did allow Pitbull to hit him with, because Tank only needs one.
Yeah, and Tank is more of a counterpuncher. He's going to wait for those openings to really kind of catch you, where Cruz is just constant pressure. So it's probably easier to box around that type of style.
Cruz is predictable.
Tank is not.
Right, Tank can go forward and go backwards.
So even if Tank does move up to 140, he'll be a heavy favorite against Ryan.
Of course, because he already been champion at 140.
Yeah. And he beat a big guy in Mario Barrios at 140 that went on to win fights after that.
Mario's my height. Like, what is wrong with Tank? He's that special. He's that powerful.
Yep.
Is he going to be that special tomorrow night? Make sure you guys order this on Prime Video. Tickets on Ticketmaster.com. It's a PBC pay-per-view event. Scan the QR code to order. Look, obviously Tank brings them out. They're talking about this fight, if there are any tickets available on Ticketmaster, because they might be sold out, because people love to watch them in person. We saw him in Atlanta and D.C., many other places. what is it about coming to the arena? I mean, he sells out quick. We know pay-per-view fight fans around the world. Why they want to be in the building?
Because they know Tank brings all the smoke.
Pun
Simple
intended.
as
Pun
that.
intended, right? I guess so. No, it makes sense when a certain crowd want to come out, they want to be seen by somebody, and the somebodies are gonna be here, and they want to see other people, and they want to wear their nicest clothes, like I said. So that's the kind of people Tank bring out.
And you know what? We keep talking about Roach's comfortability and how confident he is. But let's point out that Tank is always like that, right? And he's more comfortable than ever talking to the media. He doesn't seem like he has a worry in the world. I mean, I think the only time I saw Tank a little tense was probably against Ryan Garcia because he knew he was going in with a big puncher. And Tank has said it. He wasn't shy about it. He said, listen, I was worried. He's a big guy for the weight and a big puncher. But he seems so comfortable. Like he doesn't have a worry in the world.
He doesn't because he's fighting his homie. When you fighting the homie, what you worried about? You know what he got. You know everything. Like I said, like Tank, like he knows Tank probably almost as good as Tank knows himself. Tank also knows him almost as good as he knows himself because they've been in the ring so many times.
Right.
So it's nothing to be afraid of. It's who can go out there and execute what game plan they think works and who can't.
Speaking of game plans, do you think Tank, we're still waiting on him. He's not in the building yet, right? Is that a mind game, a strategy? Floyd did it often. I'm not sure, Roy, if you ever done anything like that.
Yeah.
What does that do to the opponent when you're taking your time to show up?
Well, it can do two things. It can backfire too because you can piss him off to a point that you're going to say, you know what, you don't respect me now, but you're going to respect me after this. So you can give him fuel, or you can make him feel like, wow, they told me I got to be here on time, and he doing what he want to do. You understand me? So it's two ways to look at it.
Well, he's feeling himself. He's a champ. He's been a champ for a while. 8 years now?
Yep.
He had a championship title. So
I think you could do that only when you're allowed to. Not all fighters are able to show up that late.
yeah, but who? Like I said, who gave him the alley-oop? Floyd. Remember Floyd tell you, I'll start the broadcast when I want. I'll go outside that ring ring walk when I want. I do whatever I want, and he has that same mentality.
But when does that become a little disrespectful, or when does it go too far?
It doesn't really matter when we all here to see you.
Right.
You know, like I told Roach
Main
to his
attraction.
face. Like I told him to his face, we talking about Tank here.
Right.
You know, because he's the guy that's bringing everybody out, so it can never really go too far. It has to be, we have to not need him in order for it to be disrespectful.
And I guarantee there's nobody else Roach can fight right now that would enable him to make the money he's making to fight Gervonta Davis. So he's not making money because he's Roach.
Right.
He's making money because he's Roach fighting Tank.
So in other words, Roach, he's not tripping. He's like, let him take his time. I'm ready for this moment.
You can't. It's the biggest payday of your life, probably.
Right.
It's the biggest opportunity of your life for sure. How can you be mad about that?
You used to play these mind games?
Of course I did.
Tell me a couple things. Tell me a couple things.
Just different things. Like I would come, and if I knew they was rushing to go somewhere, I'd tell them, okay. And I just stay up there on purpose just to piss everybody off.
Who did you do that against?
Some of everybody.
Some of everybody.
What's the biggest mind game that you've played throughout your career that you felt was effective?
It's hard to say, but I'll tell you what I did one time. Jeff Lacey had 10-ounce, supposedly, 10-ounce Everlast gloves, right?
Yeah.
And I had 10-ounce rivals. He was like, I don't want to fight in those. Why? So he kept making a big fuss about it, right?
About the gloves.
Right. So I sent my friend Alfred over there, my coach, he was assistant at the time. I said, go over there, find his 2 Everlast gloves, get his number 1 pair, and bring them to me and tell me I'll fight in Everlast then. Oof. My guy went to his locker room, said, y'all want to fight in those? Yeah, which one yours? Said that one. Said, give me those. And brought them to me.
And you fought them.
And well, let me finish though.
Okay.
When I took the rivals off and put them Everlast on, I was probably 30 miles per hour faster.
Wow.
Which told me that those were really 8-ounce gloves. So you get in there trying to put the game on me, and you got abused in 8-ounce gloves that they should have never allowed to happen, but you was trying to put it over on me. And so I just kind of outsmarted the game. I took your 8-ounce gloves and punished you with them.
All right, listen, joining us now, longtime trainer of Gervonta Davis, our guy.
What's up, baby? How you doing? You all right? Good to see you, brother. You know
Calvin
it.
Ford. Bless you.
Yep.
Wow. Full circle. Listen, Calvin, thanks for joining us. I'll be remiss if I don't ask about what's been going on. Like, let's address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
I didn't see you on the gloves off. We've seen Barry Hunter. There were question marks. People are saying, is Calvin part of Gervonta's team. Can you set the record straight, and why have you been absent?
He already set the record straight.
No, we want to hear from you.
He already set the record straight. I'm like his dad.
Right.
I'm always there because let me explain something to you. I just got married.
Okay. Congratulations.
Sometimes I get so wrapped up into boxing, I forget that I got a life too. You understand what I'm saying? And he's a grown man now. So I got to let him live life.
Right.
Because I'm always in his ear. You know what I'm saying? So he don't come around me unless he know he's right.
Wow.
So when I seen him, he's right. I don't have to be in his corner because once I start talking to him, he know how I get down.
So how was the conversation when you and Barry? Did you guys
No, y'all got to
speak?
understand, me and Barry been knowing each other for years.
Right.
Like right now, he got a kid named Scooter. Scooter rides with me. All these little kids when we was coming up from all on the East Coast, they know I'm that young coach. You know what I'm saying? That I love what I'm doing. So when I came in the gym, it was like I had flashbacks because I remember where I came from. When I used to take Tank when he was little, I used to drop him in the middle of the ring. I said, y'all figure it out. He used to compete against them. We couldn't go nowhere from out of Baltimore City unless we went through D.C. Wow. So when he went to see Barry, he stayed in a system that actually is the same system. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Same thing when you notice when Tank said something, he said something about rest in peace, Gary Russell dad.
Yes.
Same system.
Right.
No excuse. Same system. All us, we do the same thing that we was doing in the amateurs.
Right. So was Barry the OG?
He is the one of the Gary and Barry was before me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If Barry was passing and G was here, he would have said, no, he's that guy.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He's that guy. I'm
We
that
know
next
that.
generation.
They don't know that. We need you to tell them that.
The public don't know, but all the kids that know me
Yeah.
know that. You know what I'm saying? When Tank fought for Pedraza for his world title here in this building,
Yes.
nobody didn't know who Tank was. But all the fighters knew who he was.
Yeah, of course.
Because they remember him from the amateurs.
Of course.
Yeah, so there wasn't a conversation that was had. It just organically happened where you got married, you needed some time.
I needed some time for me.
And Barry just stepped in.
No, Barry was...
I know he was part of the team. I know that.
But Tank always go because I won't let him come home.
Okay.
Because every time we come home, guess what? Something crazy happened.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So, no, you can't come home. You know what I'm saying? And he want to come home bad, but he can't because who he are.
Right.
So at that spot where he at, it's a different situation and he feel comfortable with it. So he a grown man. You got to let a man be a man.
And what he's saying right now, is what most biological fathers can't do. They don't know how to back up and let that boy be a man. You understand me? He's doing what biological fathers struggle with. That's why me and my father separated because he did not know how to back up and let me be a man. Church not going to let me be a man, it's going to be a problem because these things got to go somewhere. They got to grow up. If you don't let them go somewhere, they're going to become disruptive. He letting them, allowing him to grow up and be his own man. That's a beautiful thing. That's what every father that has a son needs to listen and hear that.
Wow, well said.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little therapy in Brooklyn in the morning.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
But Calvin, I mean, you love that young man like he's your son.
Yo, I love him. I love him like...
I already know. But part of you has to miss those moments in the gym getting ready for a big fight.
Because guess what? I got more youngins coming behind him. I showed him one youngin that act just like him. And I spend all my time with him. So when I sit there and look, I know my mission. My mission ain't just about boxing. It's bigger than boxing. I got to raise guys that understand that there's more to life.
More than boxing.
If he wins tomorrow night, you going to cry?
I always cry.
I feel that. That's why I asked you.
I always cry.
I feel that.
Because he's a light for a lot of youth.
Yep.
Now, you say that you raised him pretty much, right? How proud of you as a father figure to what Tank has become as a man? Like he's talked about wanting to spend more time with his kids, needing therapy, right? Like is that music to your ears when you hear him talk like that?
He's coming into himself. Roy, no.
Yep.
You got to get a chance now. If you go back and look at some of the greatest situations, you know what I'm saying? As coaches and fighters, we miss a lot of that.
Yep.
We miss a lot of that, man. We don't even know how it feels, but when you see it and embrace it, man, you should say, dang, I was missing out on this.
Yep.
Because when we in that square box, it's serious.
Yeah, especially a coach because you might have more than one fighter and you in camp here, you in
got
camp
a kid
there.
named Lorenzo Simpson. Love him to death.
Yeah, we know him.
Yeah. So
He ain't with me. I'm letting my boys grow up, but they know when they need to make that call.
Yeah.
Coach is there.
He say nothing but positive things about you,
Because
by the way.
they know I love them.
Right.
They know I love them.
Right.
So I don't do that because I remember when I ain't had my father. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of other good brothers brought me up to make me who I am today.
Do you feel like when you're not around, that Tank has some other good brothers around him?
That's the whole idea. Because you got to remember, we learn off these. We actually reflections of each other.
Right. Right.
Especially when we see something that we admire in a person.
You know, you always say, y'all don't know what youngin' have.
Y'all ain't seen the best of them yet.
Right. But I'm tired of hearing that.
Guess what?
No. Is Lamont going to be the one to bring it out?
Let me say, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag.
All right. Bet.
When we was trying, after the Romo fight fell out, Tank went like, because he really wanted that fight. That
said
fight,
Loma.
Yeah, that I was calling him
You said Roma. I was like,
always
who
call him
that?
I've been calling him that for that. He always get on me like, why you always do that, coach? Because when we first got with Floyd and Roma was fighting Salita, everybody
that's a
forget
long
about
time
that.
ago.
Yeah, no, I
Everybody
didn't.
forget about that.
Like a second fight, he lost.
And everybody kept trying to push Tank on him then. I'm saying he's still young. He's got a lot of stuff to learn, especially the business side.
Right.
We know about the fighting side, but the business side.
Right.
So in that point, he really wanted that fight because everybody was talking all that trash, the Four Kings, all this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I said, listen, young, and listen, if the money ain't right, the fight ain't right. If he don't want to take a fight, he gonna come around because he trying to go out the game too. But he want to go out the game the way he want to go out the game.
Yeah.
You got to respect that. But we can't just sit around and wait on people.
Not at all.
Right.
We can't sit around and wait on people. So we put a list together, and Roach took the call.
How do you feel about Roach as a fighter?
Oh man, he's one of us. Did I just say that?
He's
It's
one
you.
of us.
Same ecosystem.
I don't think he was listening, but who's on that list? I want to see that list. You said a list.
Well, I'm not gonna go there, but the people know.
No, they don't know.
No. See, just one thing about me. Certain business things you don't put out there for everybody.
All right, but I brought that up because Roach said that they fought twice in the amateurs.
Yes,
in the
they
first
did.
fight, he felt like he should have got the nod.
He should have,
Was it
but
a
he
close
didn't.
hot night?
Huh?
He should, but he didn't.
He didn't. So guess what? He made a move, took the fight to the Nationals.
Yeah.
They put him back in, and we seen the results. He won again.
Right.
Because the first fight was in the regionals in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So he thought that's why he didn't get the nod. Okay, they made a move, put him in the Nationals.
Was the fight really that close?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
The fight was crazy because it was like they was fighting. That's why I knew Roach was going to bring the best out of him tonight.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow night.
I mean, tomorrow night.
Right.
You know
So
what I'm
wait,
saying?
after those two fights, did they ever spar together? I'm sure, right?
Oh man, it's stories that I
It's
had.
headbangers. I'm sure they sparred.
No, they haven't. Once they turned pro and got older, they
stopped then.
Everybody went their different lanes, and then we had his great uncle had passed away. You know what I'm saying? Then his dad really got involved with the youth and started doing his thing. No excuse.
Right.
Calvin, you know, the public always has something to say right about who Tank is not fighting.
I don't
We
pay
feel
attention
he's he's one of the best fighters in the world, no question about it. Does it ever bother him when nobody's around about who he's not fighting?
No, because he's going to fight them guys. Roy, no. It's a blueprint. It's a roadmap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like in the beginning, I'm gonna keep this out there. In the beginning, when we looked at when Devin Haney's roadmap, but he got there.
Right.
He got there.
He did.
But now everybody on it.
Right.
Can't use that plan no more. You got to have another plan.
Exactly.
Everybody understand, to get to the guy, you got to build to that guy.
So he's not going to retire this year then?
I can't say that.
Okay.
Because I'm not in his head.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What do you want for him?
I want the best for him.
Right. What do you think is the best for him?
The best for him is what he wants, because at the end of the day, when you get in that ring, your focus better be focused.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
And
so
it's all
if he's
about
not
you.
100%, then you're saying, okay, then go.
Yo, get that, clear your mind.
Yeah.
Go up in the mountains if you had to. Go for long swims and long walks.
Right.
And when you ready, come back and let's get it.
Right. Got you.
Well, listen, congratulations on getting married and taking some time for yourself, Calvin. I have to say, I'm happy to actually see you here this week. I didn't know what was going on.
Nah,
but it's
man,
good
like again, as coaches, we embedded into our fighters, man. And it takes a lot out you.
I love the passion and the honesty that you bring to the table every time we talk to you, brother.
Thank you.
God
Good to
bless
see
you,
you, Kevin.
bro. God bless you.
But Roy, love you to
Always,
death, man.
brother. You know
doing
it.
what you doing.
Always.
Good luck.
Wow. You heard the sincerity in his voice.
Of
You know,
course.
tears
Yeah, he was
was in
choking
his
up.
eyes.
Of course.
He loves the guy, but you can see that there's always something, you know. With a father and son, with my son, there's always issues.
course.
You know, something there.
Yep.
But we love each other to death. Love each other to death. So I get what he's going through.
But Roy, you've been there. I mean, How is this going to affect Tank not having that familiar voice in the camp? I'm not sure if he's working the corner, but around.
Honestly, for him, Barry is a familiar voice.
Right, true.
They grew up with this. They grew up with the same ecosystem.
But still not Calvin.
It don't matter. When you got the same ecosystem, he's had time when he sparred or when he went to different fights. I'm sure that Barry did most of the talking.
Right.
Barry was older than Calvin.
Right.
So
Barry's always been that guy.
So Barry's the guy that probably raised Calvin them up.
Yes.
So when you got the guy that's teaching your guy, then how you
comfortable.
That's why I asked him, is he the OG?
It's like it's either me, my dad can take me to the store, or my granddad can take me. And I feel just as comfortable. My granddad, because he made my dad.
That's a good analogy. And let's not act like Barry isn't a phenomenal trainer and a teacher. Right. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, like I said, he may have taught these guys. He may have taught Calvin stuff.
Yeah, no.
And plus, he still got the other guys that are around, Boog, Kenny. So it's really the same thing.
Like I said, it's a great ecosystem that they have.
And maybe they needed that break from one another. Maybe that helped them appreciate one another a little bit more.
There's no maybe. When there's this much money involved and you can take a break, then that means you needed it. If you have the desire to take a break, because sometimes people don't want to leave the money.
Well, and not only
they force it.
Yeah, that's right. And not only that, it's like you got to remember after his boxing career is over with, Calvin still got to live too.
Yes. Good
You
point.
understand me? So he can't just put everything on Tank and depend on Tank's life because you still got to live when Tank retires.
That's true.
And people, sometimes they ignore the fact that these trainers give so much of themselves in the gym. Like, now you're training fighters. Obviously, you one of the all-time greats, so you know what it takes to get ready for fights, fight camps, fights, and all that. It took most of your youth, right?
Yep.
But how much does it take out of you to teach other guys?
Even more than it did when I was doing it.
That's what I'm talking
You
about.
understand me? Even more than it did when I was doing it.
Right, because you in the gym all the
It
time
becomes
now.
so much more of a responsibility, and you got more than one of them.
Right.
When you doing it just you.
Just
I
you.
went to the gym, I trained, I left, I was cool. Now I go to the gym, I train, and this guy want to stay and do this, or this guy want to come early and do that, or that guy want to stay and work on this. And you got to cater
And you
to it.
stay.
If you're a trainer, you love it. Yeah,
Right.
because they're like your kids.
Right.
So it's like my guys that I train, they're all like my kids. Like he just said, I would get choked up talking about them just as I would my own kid because we spend so much time with them and you put so much into them that it becomes like they're your kid.
Okay, so who's your favorite kid?
All my kids are pretty much the same. I don't have a favorite. One of the newer ones, he's kind of funny. He's different. His name is Jalapeno, but he's so different. He don't even like boxing, he says. But he's now starting to love boxing. So he's one of the favorites, but Kevin Newman's his favorite. Andrew's a favorite.
Who has the most potential?
All my guys are favorites. Most potential. Kevin probably got the most potential. Andrew, pretty cool. Jalapeno got a lot of potential. I got a new guy named Frankie Dormant from Germany. He actually also has a lot of potential. And there's a little kid named Chris Young. I call him the hybrid because he fights between myself and Mike Tyson.
Well, Can I just say something about Kevin Newman?
Yeah.
I didn't like when I used to see other fighters try to be like you.
Yeah.
You know, even with Pascal and Eubank and what, Chalemba, I think.
Yep.
He even tried to do like you.
Yep.
Newman can do you a little.
He does a good job at it.
He ain't you, but he could do you a little.
So, but this is the mistake most people make. I don't teach these guys to be like me.
Right. I think Newman was kind of already like that.
He was.
Yeah.
That's why he does it better because he was already like that.
Right.
He had a lot of the same physical attributes that I had.
Oh.
So it made it a lot easier for him.
Right.
The other guys, I didn't teach them to be like me.
I know that.
I just tried to teach them my basic.
Right.
You understand me? The basic foundation. Because the basic foundation that my father taught me allowed me to build everything else add anything onto that house that I need to add onto the house. If you got a good foundation, you can go up as high as you want to go.
You know, most trainers weren't like one of the best fighters that ever lived, right? So it's different with you because there has to be some level of frustration because you remember being able to do so much in there, and when guys are not getting it and not doing it, how frustrating is that for you?
It gets frustrating sometimes, but you also got to remember this.
Nobody's Roy.
That's number one. Number two, the same God that gave you all this, some of them he didn't give all that. So you got to be patient and work with them because what if God would not have worked with you?
Right. Did you always know that you had the patience to do this?
Yeah, I did.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Even you was a star.
Yes, I did. What people didn't understand, I was doing this when I was a star.
Really?
I was doing this when I was on top. Those guys that I was helping kept me sharp. When they messed up and made me quit training those guys is when they messed my mind up. Because now I can't look at my teaching and see what I might do wrong. When I can look at my teaching, it reminds me, don't do that, and don't do that. When you take all that away and y'all don't understand the sport like I understand it, well, who gonna tell me if I'm not doing it?
Is the goal now, Roy, to to have fighters win world titles and as a trainer win some world titles.
That's the goal, but like he said too, the goal is also to teach them life lessons along the way. We raise them like kids because there's certain things they have to learn along the way. Respect, discipline. These things have to be learned. If you don't have these things, forget about being a world champion. Because if you don't have those things, I'm not going to waste my time.
So more importantly is you want to raise a young man to be a great person and a great man before a champion.
An awesome young man before he becomes champion. Yeah.
I feel you, because what if you raise a champion and he's not respectful to you?
That too.
Who cares?
That too.
Exactly.
Have you ever been in that situation where fighters not respect you enough and you don't want to deal with them?
Yes, I have. And when they don't respect me, I get rid of them. Why am I wasting my time with you?
All right, I want to get back to the fight. I want to get back to the fight about Lamont Roach. I'm looking over his record, right, and I'm saying, first of all, I think fight night, we're going to see that Roach is going to be the bigger guy. What do y'all think?
I don't think he's going to be the bigger guy because Tank has been up to 140 already. And I think Roach said, no, Roach, but
I think he rehydrates pretty well.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to go that high.
No? You don't think so?
I mean, when it comes to
on
stats,
purpose or?
No, I just don't think
everybody's taller than him, but I mean.
No, not much.
But he's small, and he don't look like he carries a lot of weight. Just looking at his structure, he don't look like he don't look like his body's made to carry a lot of weight.
Really?
Yeah, when I saw my guy fight against the kid from New York last month, whenever it was, that kid, when I saw him, I told my guy, I said, hey, he's gonna be really big tomorrow. Yeah. Because I could tell he was dried up a little bit, right?
Yeah. That's true. He didn't look dry.
Exactly.
He didn't look sucked in.
So you
That's
can't.
true.
So you can't go up if you ain't sucked in.
Right.
When I was here, if I was saw that water bottle, I'd be like, can y'all move that because I need that right now. You feel me? He's not like that. He say he drink Peter. You're like, all right.
Oh, that's right.
You understand me? So
right.
how's he gonna blow up so big? It's not gonna happen. He ain't gonna be the biggest fighter in that corner, in that ring, I guarantee.
I have to agree with that. We had Rayo Valenzuela on earlier. Oftentimes they'll put a guy in a co-main event when there's a plan ahead.
That's why.
Do you think that might be the plan ahead for match him up if he wins big, Valenzuela against Tank Davis?
Of course it is, because that's another opponent that we can fight and win a title, look interesting against, and make a lot of money without having to deal with Turk and Shakir.
Right, and going up and winning a title in a different division if he comes up to 140.
He already did that though.
Yeah. No, I know. No, but doing it again.
That was a secondary title. For us that know.
Right.
That was a secondary title. So this right here would be the official.
But first he has to get past Roach, and that's not going to be an easy task.
Right.
All right. PBC pay-per-view event. Make sure on Prime Video you order that. Starts 8 p.m. Eastern time. But first, before any of that happens, these guys have to hop on the scale. So let me send it over to my guy Miguel Flores.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York, as Premier Boxing Champions presents our official weigh-in for tomorrow's stacked pay-per-view event on Prime Video. It is all brought to you by GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, and it is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Now, before we get to our pay-per-view card, we do have an exciting Prime Video prelims set for you that will all be beginning tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Now, let's start off with our first fight on those prelims. This bout will be 4 rounds at the lightweight division. This is a weight limit of 141 pounds. Coming to the stage first with a record of 2 victories, 1 by knockout, no defeats. Out of Baltimore, Maryland, here is Jamal Johnson. All right, now let's bring on his opponent. Undefeated, 5 victories, all 5 by knockout. Representing Fort Washington, Maryland, here is Derek Scooter Davis. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our first fighter to step onto the scale. Once again, out of Baltimore, Maryland, here is Jamal Johnson. $140.8 for Johnson. Now it's time to bring up the undefeated fighter from Fort Washington, Maryland. Here is Derek Scooter Davis. $138.2 for Scooter. This will be the first fight kicking off our PBC Prime Video Prelims tomorrow. Derek Scooter Davis taking on Jamal Johnson. Once again, the Prime Video Prelims all start 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue our prelims now as we move on to 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Now coming to the stage, he is undefeated, 7 victories, 5 by knockout. Representing Oceanside, California, here is Angel Machete Munoz. And now we'll introduce his opponent coming in, also undefeated, 8 victories, 6 by knockout. From Washington, D.C., here is David, the Body Snatcher Whitmire. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this will be our second fight on those PBC Prime Video Prelims. Now we are set for our first fighter to step onto the scale. Once again, here is the undefeated fighter out of Oceanside, California. Here is Angel Machete Munoz. $148.8 for Machete. Once again, the weight limit is 149 pounds for this bout. Now, let's welcome on his opponent, the undefeated fighter out of Washington, D.C., David, the Body Snatcher Whitmire. $146.4 for the Body Snatcher. Once again, this is our second fight on our prelims. David the Body Snatcher Whitmire against Angel Machete Munoz. Both men are undefeated. Someone's O has got to go. That should be a good one. 6 rounds in the welterweight division. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our featured fight on the PBC Prime Video Prelims. This bout will be 10 rounds in the middleweight division. Coming to the stage first with a record of 35 victories, 34 by knockout, opposite of 4 defeats, representing Valencia, Venezuela. Here is the hard-hitting knockout artist, Johan Gonzalez. All right, now we'll welcome his opponent coming to the stage with the record of 25 victories, 17 by knockout, opposite of 3 defeats and 1 draw, representing Accokeek, Maryland. He is the former unified 154-pound world champion. Here is Swift Jared Hurd. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're now ready for our first fighter to hit the scale. Once again, here is the hard-hitting knockout artist from Venezuela, Johan Gonzalez. $158.8 for Gonzalez. Now, stepping onto the scale, his opponent, once again, the former unified world champion, Swift Jared Hurd. $159.6 for Swift Jared Hurd. $159.6 for Hurd. This is our featured fight on the PBC Prime Video Prelims tomorrow. Swift Jared Hurd against Johan Gonzalez. 10 rounds in the middleweight division. All right, Johan, this is a tremendous opportunity. You came up short in your last fight, but you are facing a former world champion in Swift Jared Hurd. He said if he doesn't get through you, he's hanging up the gloves. How does tomorrow play out against the former champ?
Qué tremenda oportunidad, ¿no? Acá frente a un ex campeón en Nueva York, Hurd dice que si pierde mañana, entonces él se retira. ¿Qué va a pasar mañana? ¿Cómo la ves?
Bueno, es una gracias por la oportunidad que me dio la empresa PBC y primera vez que yo quería venir de niño a Nueva York y voy a dejarlo todo porque es una tremenda oportunidad y sé que de sacar una victoria me vendrán cosas mejores.
Well, you know, first of all, thank you to PBC for this opportunity. It's a dream come true. I've always wanted to come to New York as a kid, and here I am, making my dream come true. And I know that if I win tomorrow, the bigger things are in store for me. Can't wait.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Johan Gonzalez. Now I'll go over to his opponent, the former champ, Swift Jared Hurd. First off, how good does it feel to be back here, obviously with PBC, and you're going to be the feature presentation for the PBC Prime Video prelims. What are you looking to accomplish tomorrow?
It's a great feeling to be back, man. You know, I'm just looking to go out there and look like the fighter I was once before. You know, I know the type of skills I have. I know what level I'm on. And like I said, when I'm 100%, it's a dangerous Swift. So I plan on going out there and getting a dominant stoppers in a dominant fashion.
All right, Swift Jared Hurd, ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to seeing him tomorrow against Johan Gonzalez, 10 rounds in the middleweight division. Once again, our PBC Prime Video prelims start 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. You do not want to miss that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, we're going to be bringing on our pay-per-view card, so you don't want to miss it. We'll be back in just a few short moments, but first, let's check out Gloves Off as we take a look behind the scenes as Gervonta Tank Davis and the Reaper Lamont Roach get set for their March 1st showdown tomorrow night here at Barclays Center. Ladies and gentlemen, a mega event, March 1st. Superstar Gervonta Tank Davis defends his world championship against Lamont Roach. Do you feel like people are overlooking you in this fight as the underdog?
Come on now, of course. But the only thing that's gonna matter is when we get in the ring. If you ain't on your A game, if you ain't focused.
Trying to hear that shit.
I'm telling you right now, you better tighten up. Because if you don't, my mother, I'm gonna make it look like a cakewalk.
Now, I promise you, on my mother, you better believe the females home and the kids. On my mother.
In boxing, a fighter's journey to greatness can go in one of two directions. You can write your own future, control the narrative.
You worry about taking out your competition?
Yeah, I worry about getting my money and getting out of it.
Or have your path derailed and story dictated by your opponent.
It ain't his show. This is my show.
Trust me, we on shit March 1st, you hear me?
I'ma beat his ass.
He can't do shit with.
So y'all better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all is quiet, if y'all is loud.
They got the whole hood over there. I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Y'all can do whatever y'all want. My mother, he
I don't
can't
care
stop
about no
nothing
hood,
over
no
here.
none of that.
Not at all.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna fuck him up.
Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. began in the same world, in the same gyms, chasing the same dream. But the paths that brought them to this inflection point could not be more different. The world has witnessed the incredible rise of Tank Davis, prodigy turned champion turned superstar, a fighter who through every provocation has remained untouched. At age 30, he has already crafted a legacy of indelible performances. And Tank is looking to use this next chapter to further his legend.
Y'all getting the last little bit of Gervonta that y'all gonna see. I'm gonna make sure I do what I'm supposed to so I can be the best I can.
It's kind of his show. I'm the villain, and I'm definitely here to play a damn good villain role. I'm gonna whoop his ass.
Lamont Roach Jr. has taken a different path.
That's right.
His tenacity is evident in every fight, but even more so in the long arc of his career, where he has scrapped and fought to earn the right not to be overlooked.
I'm really him. I bring any type of smoke to anything in my way. I am him in that ring.
The contrasts are evident and clear, but what makes these men the same, their relentless drive, their willingness to leave everything in the ring, will be exactly what makes this fight unforgettable.
I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of. There's a reason why I'm here.
Lamont Roach, we fucking you and your peoples up, Slim.
Because in boxing, Greatness isn't just measured by where you start. It is defined by how you finish.
We in it to win it.
Stretch it down, pull it up. Ready, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, one more. Good, under here. Roll under the bed. Good job.
That lawnmower, that's that. Start that motherfucker lawnmower.
I made the decision to train in DC because, you know, I haven't been in the coldness in a minute. I haven't even trained in the coldness in a minute, so I feel as though this will help me. I'm from Baltimore. He's not from DC. That's what I learned. I thought he was from DC too. DC my second home. I've been coming up here since I was 9 years old, even younger. So I'm not really trying to get in his personal business. Probably just showing him that, you know, I could do anything, especially in your backyard.
You gonna feel all this shit we gotta do? Look, hey Tank, we gonna go 35 for 12.
Many years ago, legendary champion Marvin Hagler remarked that it's hard to get up and do road work at 5 a.m. when you're sleeping in silk pajamas. In other words, when you're hungry, when you're chasing something, the grind comes naturally.
Good.
But once you're comfortable, that fire can fade. Unless it was never about comfort in the first place.
Ever since I've known him, since he was a kid, his biggest fear is losing. I'll never forget this day, and he told the story himself. I believe we were in Vegas. Adrian Bronner was fighting. And I turned around and Tank, he was crying. What are you crying for? He said, "'Cause I want it." And I said, "You want what?" He said, "I want all of this." He was so in awe with Adrian, the accolades and him winning titles, blah, 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 and he wanted to be that guy. And when I saw him crying, I was like, wow, you know, I stepped off. I said, wow, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna have to worry about him. He gonna fight hard to get it.
If I get him where I need him to be, he's gonna sleep for sure. Soften him up, then fry him.
I'm the one that got them acting different. They didn't get it because they have to admit it. I'm attracted when it's when I see them, I'm asking if they really know what I am. I'm the one that say it's bad for business. They just know that my attack is vicious and they have is gifted. That's why I'm asking them. Do you know who I am?
Hopefully, he come prepared mentally and physically. I mean, when it was my time to shine, I definitely was, you know, I had to shine. It was like, put up or go home.
It's over. That's it. Tank Davis.
He got great power.
Big shots for Roach.
I feel like he's a sharp fighter all around the board. You know, somebody that you can't sleep on.
Lamont Roach.
Lamont Roach has never been a cheap date for nobody. The real true boxing fans, the real ones that know that this is no easy fight. He's very skilled, and I'm gonna go on the line and say this may be the most skillful person that Tank has faced thus far.
I just don't want to look bad come fight night. My biggest fear has been embarrassed, especially in front of like all these people, like worldwide. Then you be like, come this mean for deck, like, you know? Like, I ain't got time for that. I'm not trying to go out get my butt kicked. Like, bad, like, I can't do it. I don't want to be embarrassed, bro. It's just my pride. Some people be made for it, some people don't. He's not gonna win. You better be ready.
When they called for the fight, I'm looking at my dad, and he looking at me. That was Tank at PBC. They asked you want to fight.
Hell yeah. Yes. Yes, I do. That's what we in this for. I'm in this to prove that I'm the best. You gotta be a dumbass fool, you think I'ma lose. Gotta get booked for murder or something. He been in the spotlight for a long time, so it's nothing you could take away from what he's done in the sport. But I'm on his heels, like I'm on his bumper. I think I'm gonna beat his ass, I ain't gonna lie.
Don't let me knock that nigga out.
What? I'm gonna Viking their ass out. I'm gonna let y'all know right now, this motherfucking fight gonna be, it's gonna be that. It's gonna be that, for sure. For sure, for sure.
Oh, you gonna make a twist? Oh, you gonna
Salt and pepper. Yeah, them dons charred. I normally put together my own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Today, we have red potatoes, salmon, cheese, onions, with 2 over medium eggs. It's perfect. Oh, excuse me, onions. Good breakfast, big boy breakfast.
crazy, man.
Lamont Roach Jr. is known as the Reaper, a name that reflects his intensity, finality, and cold, calculated edge in the ring. But outside of it, he keeps his camp anything but grim, training under his father and alongside his brother.
Conscious, bro.
I ain't feel like pouring in the glass.
No free promo, no conflicts of interest or nothing.
The relaxed vibe of Team Roach steadies the camp against the constant drama found in boxing's highest level. Like last December, when his opponent took to Instagram, threatening to pull out of the fight.
Just to address the fight was never off. He said something, not me. I ain't say nothing about the fight being off. How the hell I pull out? Ain't nobody stunned that. We still in the gym. Same day, next day.
Maybe he had a bad day that day and said something, man.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, some people just gotta know what you getting yourself into. He just might be a little off, and he be tripping sometimes. That's it. Like, I know that. People gotta know that they dealing with a wild card. That's what he is, a wild card.
There's no questioning the importance of this moment for Roach. But the past adds another layer of significance.
Coming like that. Baltimore and DC, 2 different worlds, but they so close. We grew up together in the sport. It was always just a tension and rivalry.
Even as kids, when Tank and Roach fought, those in the know paid attention. They were 2 young fighters with remarkable skill and relentless drive.
The last time we got in the ring, we were 15 or 16. He won. Gold medal, him. Silver medal, me. 1 and 2 in the nation. So that was the last time we was in the ring together.
Since the amateurs, Lamont Roach Jr. has been relentless in carving his own path towards becoming a world champion. Now he brings that hard-earned confidence to take on an icon of the sport.
I'm a world champion for a reason. I know who I am, I know what I can do. The people who've actually witnessed me in the ring, they know. This motherfucker can fight. People don't go in there and try to beat his ass. I'm gonna go in there and beat his ass. Like, for real.
March 1st, the most explosive man in boxing returns.
The legend of Gervonta Tank Davis.
In his path stands fellow world champ Lamont the Reaper Roach, looking to step in and take out the Tank.
Into the battleground. Ain't gonna stop me now. This is the final round.
That power is deadly. We coming.
It's Tank versus Roach, Saturday, March 1st, live on PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime Video.
All right, man. Gervonta Davis. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, fam.
You see a lot of athletes announce retirement and then don't retire because they have so much love. Have you have you had any times like, maybe I was tripping a bit?
Yeah, I do be having those thoughts.
Yeah.
But it's also too, I want to get myself together though.
Which is much more important.
Yeah, being more there for my kids, going to school,
just building myself up as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a great human being. That's what I'm focusing on.
You mentioned at the next stage of your life you wanted to seek therapy, become a better person. What does that actually mean? Like, what do you want to get out of this therapy?
Just healing myself.
At just 30, in the prime of his career, Tank Davis stands at a crossroads. One foot in his past, the other inching towards an uncertain future. He's acknowledging a reality many fighters refuse to confront, that the demons outside the ring can be just as exhausting as the battles within it. Yet the fight game waits for no one. On March 1st, he faces Lamont Roach Jr., a formidable challenger hungry to carve his own legacy. Fighting is a brutal business, and under the bright lights of Brooklyn, Tank Davis will step into the fire once again. The question is, which man will leave that ring with his destiny intact? And which will be left to pick up the pieces?
Thank you so much.
I'm a musician and I'm a creative. On the outside looking in, he makes it fun, from backflips and I just think he's cool, All the love.
Yes, sir. Likewise.
I holla at you.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't deny swag. Just like you can't talent, but he's just cool, And so people want to support him. He looked like us. You feel me? So I think it's just something like that.
There's no denying that Tank Davis is one of boxing's most electrifying attractions. His swagger.
You gonna look good right on the ground.
His style. His explosive knockout power.
What a missile strike by Davis!
Whatever his future holds, fight fans will be watching. And this next one, it's got all the ingredients for something special. A classic DC versus Baltimore showdown.
Tank is one of the faces of boxing, along with Canelo Alvarez. It would be huge to knock one of them faces off that Mount Rushmore of boxing.
He's a solid fighter. It's gonna be great come watch the first. All that. And I seen what you said, talking about if you knock me out, you gonna do this. All right now. I seen it. Better be ready, fam.
I don't want to lose. I hate losing. I know Tank hate losing. Lamont damn sure don't want to lose, so it's gonna make for a good fight, man.
On March 1st, the Barclays Center in Brooklyn will be deafening. After all, New York City has embraced Tank like one of its own.
I'm definitely from Brooklyn, fam.
That's it!
I don't know, I think since I fought that in my first championship, I feel like they showed me mad love. Like, even on Instagram, I had more followers in New York than Baltimore. So just fighting back at the Barclays Center and just being in front of them people is amazing. It's all love on my end, for New York City, and I can't wait to go back.
He got like a little mean streak. So that's what's really gonna make this a good fight. Because I'm gonna bring it, for sure. It is gonna be either Fight of the Year candidate, or I'm gonna beat the shit out of him.
It's still snow on the ground? Yeah. What you doing? You just fall? Yeah. You all right?
My son means everything to me. He's definitely motivation.
You see his school picture?
Yeah, the jokers.
Yes, it's gonna be one of those fights. My son can eventually go to school one day and be like, March 1st, 2025. My dad, he won his second world championship against a guy that they consider pound for pound knockout artist. I'm glad my son is gonna be able to witness that.
Yeah, there we go. We on the same page, you know that.
Oh, okay.
motherfuckers got us all the way fucked.
Yeah. Tell him again. Tell him again. So the PBC came up here.
I'm sorry. I really don't talk like that.
My whole family is very encouraging, very supportive. They know. I've been nose down, grinding since 9. I'm 29 years old now. I can describe it as it's about time.
We've been doing this shit for too many years, man.
Too many. You know, it's
what I'm saying? There's the opportunity now to go out there and show out. You feel me?
No question.
Block out all the noise, fuck all the people, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna be screaming, going crazy, probably gonna get booed.
Yeah,
it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna tunnel vision, you know what I'm saying? Tunnel vision, just think about him and go out there and do your business, you feel me? Hell yeah, I know.
With experience comes perspective, and Lamont Roach Jr. has plenty of both. In a sport obsessed with the O, he sees things differently, knowing he wouldn't be the fighter he is today if it wasn't for absorbing the one thing this risk-adverse era dreads most.
Tonight, he is making his first attempt at a world title. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring.
My first world title fight, we knew what we were getting into.
Let's have a good fight.
Coming in on the B side, he was young, just turning 24.
Oh, big shot from Lamont Roach. Hurts Jamel Herring with just 5 seconds left here in the 11th round, and he holds on for dear life.
Just didn't let what I had out early enough.
The decision will be in the judges' hands.
And still, the WBO Junior Lightweight Champion of the world, Jamel Herring.
He was the better man that night. And honestly, that one fucked me up. I was depressed. It's my first loss.
And it was tough going back to that locker room because his first words when he got back there was, "Sorry I let you down." And I was like, "You ain't let me down." You know what I'm saying? We failed as a team, and it ain't gonna define us or stop our journey. You know what I'm saying? We will get back here, and next time we will win it.
After I got up off my ass and was like, all right, this ain't where you supposed to be. Let's go show them. Let's go show them where you supposed to be at. I got my tool bag and I went to work.
It wasn't a loss, it was a lesson. It was a big lesson that we learned and took from it. It made him a much better fighter.
It took 4 years of work, but Lamont Roach Jr. earned a second chance at the title. This time against Hector Luis Garcia, fresh off his impressive performance against Tank.
With Hector, I'm, again, the underdog, and a lot of people talking shit. So I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna show y'all.
There's a right and wobble, Garcia. Big time problems for the champion.
I said, I got this shit.
Oh my goodness! Whoa!
And the new champion of the world.
And the new, it was one of the best feelings that I had in my life. I ain't gonna lie. Because I work for it. I put my pride, I put my life into this.
Lamont, do your thing, man. You look good. You want PC him up, I'm telling you.
For sure.
Yeah, for the city, you know what I'm saying? All love. Hey, can we, I don't know how much time y'all got. Can I get a flick?
Yeah, for sure. Right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you indeed, and we welcome you to Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York, as Premier Boxing Champions presents the PBC pay-per-view on Prime official weigh-in for our big night of action taking place tomorrow night right here at Barclays Center, and brought to you by GTD Promotions and TGB Promotions, sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we begin with our opening pay-per-view attraction, the interim super welterweight world title, brought to you in association with Warriors Boxing and Box Lab. Let's bring our fighters to the stage at this time. First, hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, please welcome the former unified super welterweight champion of the world, Julian J. Rock Williams. And his opponent is fighting out of Stanford, Texas, originally from Cuba. He is the undefeated world rank contender. Please welcome to the stage the undefeated Yoenis Tellez. Now let's bring our fighters to the scale. The weight limit on this fight is a very strict 154 pounds for the WBA Interim Super Welterweight Championship. Once again, to the scale first, we have, with 17 knockouts in his 29 wins, the former unified Super Welterweight Champion of the world, Julian J. Rock Williams. 153.2, 153.2 for Julian J. Rock Williams. And now to the scale. With a record of 9 wins and no losses, he has 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome to the scale the undefeated rising super welterweight contender, Yoenis Tellez. 153.4 pounds, 153.4 for Yoenis Tellez. And in just a moment, we're going to have our fighters square off for this opening pay-per-view attraction, reminding you, Premier Boxing Champions presents the PBC pay-per-view on Prime. Starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 5 p.m. Pacific. And of course, we have a free on Prime preliminary boxing and a great card, and that starting at 5 p.m. And that's, excuse me, that's going to be 6 p.m. local time. That's 3 p.m. Pacific. Let's bring our fighters together to square off for the opening PBC pay-per-view on Prime, a big night of action, starting off with an interim WBA Super Welterweight World title.
Look out, guys. Look out. Look out. Turn the other way. Turn the other way.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Yoenis Tellez, undefeated rising star, taking on Julian J. Rock Williams. They're going to have to wait until tomorrow to continue this because that is the opening fight on our PBC pay-per-view on Prime. 12 rounds for the WBA Interim Super Welterweight Championship.
Tomorrow, okay? What? I'm gonna be here.
And now let's hear from our fighters a little bit more. My pleasure to introduce multi-talented boxing commentator, colleague Miguel Flores. Miguel, take it away. Let's hear first from Julian J. Rock Williams. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy, and I am here alongside the man proudly representing Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Julian J. Rock Williams. It got a little bit testy up there. Well, talk us through what happened. You were kind of in front of him and he gave you a little bit of a shove.
Put his arms in my face. He put his arms in my face. You crazy? Might not make it to the fight due to some shit like that.
Now, tomorrow, you have an opportunity to be a world champion. Again, at this point in your career, what would that mean to you and your career to be a world champion again?
I mean, everything. That's why I'm here. It's the only reason why I'm here. I ain't here for no money. I ain't here for nothing else. I'm here to be a champion.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Julian J. Rock Williams. And now we'll go over to his opponent, Yoenis Tellez, as he comes in, the undefeated fighter. As we look forward to tomorrow's action. You gave J. Rock a little bit of a shove. He said you put your arm in your face. He said, oh, he don't play those games. Were you trying to send a little bit of a message to him doing that?
¿Qué pasó con el empujón de recién? ¿Estabas tratando de mandar como un mensajito?
Sí, que como que lo vi un poquito salidito del plato y tuve que ponerle un stop.
Well, you know, he was in a way crawling the plate, so you know when someone crawls the plate, you gotta make sure that he respects you.
Now, tomorrow you have an incredible opportunity to be a world champion in your 10th professional fight. What type of statement are you looking to make tomorrow to not only J-Rock, but the rest of the division?
Va a ser tu 10ª pelea como profesional, pero a la misma vez también es una gran oportunidad por el título. ¿Qué tipo de mensaje le estás intentando mandar al boxeo, a Williams y a todos de que Yoenis Telles, qué va a hacer mañana?
Mañana, con el favor de Dios, hay una sola mentalidad que es salir victorioso y voy a tratar de reventarlo desde que empiece hasta que se acabe. Y mandarle un mensaje a las 154 libras con la oportunidad que se me dio de que hay un cubano con tremendas ganas y con tremenda hambre de comerse el mundo.
You can bet that I'm going to try to break him from the very beginning of the fight until the very end. I'm not going to stop tomorrow night. And the message for the division is the following. A Cuban fighter is here, hungry for glory and ready to take over.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Yoenis Telles. Back to you, Jimmy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again from Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York, Premier Boxing Champions continues with our weigh-in at our next world title attraction, brought to you by GTD Promotions and TGB Promotions. And this fight is presented in association with Schwan Boxing, Top Rank Incorporated and OPI since 1982. And of course, our sponsorship is DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Let's bring our fighters to the stage at this time. Join me in welcoming them. First, joining us from Barcelona in Spain. He is the WBC World Ranked Challenger. Please welcome Sandor Martin. And now we invite the defending world champion to the stage at this time, hailing from San Juan de la Maguana in the Dominican Republic. Here is the defending WBC super lightweight champion of the world, Alberto La Vispa Puello. And as our fighters prepare to step onto the scale, the weight limit on this fight is 140 pounds. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Super Lightweight Championship of the World. Let's bring our challenger to the scale first. Once again from Barcelona, Spain, his record 42 wins, 3 losses with 15 wins coming by way of knockout. He's the European Super Lightweight Champion and a Southpaw World Rank Contender. Once again, welcome to the scale, Sandor Martin. $139.2 pounds, 139.2. And now we invite his opponent to the scale. He is the defending champion with a record of 23-0, 10 knockouts, the undefeated WBC Super Lightweight Champion of the World, Alberto La Vispa Puello. 139.2 pounds, 139.2 pounds for the champion, Alberto Puello.
Mira para el frente, Santos, para el frente. Para el frente. ¿Estás preparado? Se queda ahí. Para el frente.
And the fighters are ready for this. It's our second world title attraction, 12 rounds. WBC Super Lightweight Championship of the World. Alberto La Vispa Puello defends his title against the challenger, Sandor Martin.
Thank you.
Once again, we have Miguel Flores. Let's hear more from our fighters, starting with the challenger.
All right, Sandor Martin, incredible opportunity. You are a hungry challenger for the WBC belts. What would it mean for you and your career moving forward to be the first man to defeat the champion Alberto Puello?
¿Qué significaría para vos, Sandor, el ser el primero en no solo quitarle el invicto a Alberto Puello, sino que también ser campeón aquí en Nueva York?
For me, it's not important the opponent. Puello is a good fighter, but my goal is become world champ. That's all for me.
Now, you are proudly from Spain. I'm sure there's going to be many fans in your home country watching. What do you want to say to those as they get ready to watch you tomorrow night?
That's for me, for my family, for my country, for my people, and that I'm gonna be world champ on Saturday, March, and be true my dream.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sandor Martin. And now let's go to Alberto Puello. Alberto, what is Sandor going to find out tomorrow night when he steps into the ring with you?
¿De qué se va a dar cuenta Sandor Martin mañana cuando ingrese al cuadrilátero y te enfrente?
De que hay niveles y que el boxeo no es un relajo.
You know what? There are levels in this thing, and boxing is no easy thing. He's going to realize that.
All right, short and sweet from Alberto La Vispa Puello, the WBC World Champion.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Premier Boxing Champions now presents our next world title attraction. It is the co-main event of the evening, brought to you by GTD Promotions and TGB Promotions, sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Let's welcome the fighters as they come to the stage at this time. First, representing the preeminent boxing family from Capitol Heights, Maryland. Please welcome the world-ranked hard-hitting super lightweight contender, Gary Antoine Russell. And now we invite the defending champion to the stage at this time from Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. Making the first defense of his world title, here's the defending WBA Super Lightweight Champion of the World, Jose El Rayo Valenzuela. Let's get our fighters onto the scale. The weight limit on this fight is 140 pounds, a strict 140 pounds. This is for the WBA Super Lightweight Championship of the World. First, the challenger with a record of 17-1 with all 17 wins coming by way of knockout. The hard-hitting WBA world-ranked challenger, Gary Antoine Russell. $138.2 pounds for Gary Antoine Russell, 138.2 pounds. And now let's bring the defending champion to the scale at this time. His record is 14 wins, 2 losses, with 9 of his wins coming by way of knockout. He is the all-action, newly crowned WBA Super Lightweight Champion of the World, Jose El Rayo Valenzuela. 138.8 pounds, 138.8 for the champion, Jose El Rayo Valenzuela. While we await our fighters to square off, I've just been informed that there are a few seats available. They've released a few seats. They are available at Ticketmaster.com. It's going to be a great fight card tomorrow night right here, Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York.
Be pros, be pros.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen, promising to be an all-action showdown for the WBA Super Lightweight Championship of the World. Jose El Rayo Valenzuela versus Gary Antoine Russell in our co-main event of the evening.
Good luck, guys. Good luck. All right, man. Good luck.
Once again, let's hear from our fighters. Once again, take it away, Miguel Flores.
All right, I'm here with Gary Antoine Russell. Gary, as we bring you over, you're saying it's on and popping tomorrow. You are excited for this one. What needs to happen tomorrow night for you to be successful against Rayo and to become and the new?
I got to dismantle him in every way and bring that belt home. And the new.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for our co-main event, Gary Antoine Russell. Now let's go over to the champ, Jose Rayo Valenzuela. You're 1 day away from stepping into the ring with Russell, making your first world title defense. What was the message you were saying? You guys were saying things back and forth here at the final face-off. What was your message to him?
Not much. We're just going to give the fans a hell of a fight.
All right, Jose Rayo Valenzuela, the WBA champion, as he's set to make his first world title defense.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for the featured attraction of the evening, brought to you by GTD Promotions and TGB Promotions in association with Pro Box Promotions, sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Let's welcome our fighters to the stage at this time. First, the challenger from Washington, D.C. He's a champion in his own right, but he'll be moving up in weight and challenging for this title. Please welcome the current WBA Super Featherweight Champion of the World, the Reaper, Lamont Roach. And now, his opponent is the renowned champion from Baltimore, Maryland, the five-time three-division champion of the world and the current WBA lightweight champion of the world, Gervonta Tank Davis. And as our fighters are preparing to step onto the scale, bringing to your attention 12 rounds of boxing, WBA Lightweight Championship of the World. Weight limit on this fight is a very strict 135 pounds even. Let's bring our challenger to the scale first, a highly decorated amateur world champion. His pro record, 25 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the challenger and the current WBA Super Featherweight Champion of the World, the Reaper, Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach weighs in right at the lightweight limit of 135 pounds. 135 pounds for Lamont Roach. And now we bring the champion to the scale. 30 wins, no losses, 28 knockouts. The superstar of boxing, the undefeated, reigning and defending WBA lightweight champion of the world, Gervonta Tank Davis. 133.8 pounds for Gervonta Davis, 133.8 for the champion. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, PBC pay-per-view on Prime commences at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 5 p.m. Pacific. But our free prelims start on Prime at 6 p.m. local time. That's 3 p.m. in the West. Once again, PBC pay-per-view on Prime, and this is our main event of the evening. Starts at 8 p.m. local time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and 5 p.m. Pacific.
Hey, sir.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen, the stare down and a few words exchanged. The last time they'll face each other until they meet in the center of the ring tomorrow night for the main event of the evening. The WBA Lightweight Championship of the World, Gervonta Tank Davis versus the Reaper, Lamont Roach.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring up Lamont Roach, the 130-pound WBA world champion. Lamont, as you come forward, a tremendous, huge, massive event tomorrow here at Barclays Center. You and Tank were drawing back and forth. What was your message to him right now?
I told him this shit real. He talking about he gonna stop me. He know damn well that shit ain't gonna happen. I told him to bring a pillow.
Now, tomorrow, fans are going to be tuning in to watch this fight between you and Tank. What are fight fans going to learn tomorrow night about Lamont Roach?
That I'm one of the best fighters in the world. Can't wait for y'all to see it. That's all I gotta say.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for the Reaper, Lamont Roach. And now we'll bring up Gervonta Tank Davis as it. All right, Tank, we'll bring you up as right there, that final exchange. What did you want to say to him?
He a front runner like everybody else that fought. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay.
So you said he's a front runner just like everyone else you fought?
For the people that's here. That's all he's doing. Showing off for them. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He's showing off. He ain't had none of this energy any other time. Now, no, it's not. No, it's not. Watch.
Prediction tomorrow night. It's always an electric atmosphere when you step into the ring. And once again, the last time you were in Barclays Center, you broke records. They're anticipating those records to be broken. What happens as Gervonta Tank Davis defends his world title again?
Same old, same old. I get the people what they want to see, man. Explosive knockouts and shit like that. That's what come with me. So That's what we'll see Saturday night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for the champ, one of boxing's biggest stars, Gervonta Tank Davis.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you very much for your attendance. That concludes our official weigh-in. Don't forget, the action begins tomorrow. PBC pay-per-view on Prime, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. And we want to remind you also there are a few tickets available. Ticketmaster.com is where you can get them. Good afternoon, everybody.
All right, guys, both fighters make weight. Tank makes weight comfortably. One thing I noticed, Roy, Tank put his clothes back on. Normally, typically, traditionally, fighters don't have no shirt when they do the face-off. Is that another mind game, like I can do what I want, I don't follow tradition?
Well, I think it is, but at the same time, that's how you're supposed to act. You're supposed to act like you're the boss of the stage. You run the weigh-in, you run everything. And that's basically the message he's trying to send.
I definitely think he just did that, not necessarily a mind game, but just to say, I do whatever the hell I want to do. You know, but y'all still look at them and say that Tank's the bigger guy?
No, I don't think he's the bigger guy now, but he'll be the bigger guy tomorrow. You saw Roach didn't drink anything on the stage. Tank's drinking right now. Right. So Tank's rehydration has started right now.
Right this second.
Yeah, but Tank came well under 135.
I understand that, but his rehydration started right then.
I think Tank all this time was looking for something to make it personal, and he just grabbed that little bit that he could just now and said, oh, it's personal now.
Nothing really happened.
I know. That's why I said he was looking. He was like, I can't find nothing. I'm going to look for something. Oh, that's it. I'm taking it personal now.
Chase him down the stage. And, I mean, he said that he says he's going to stop all his opponents. I don't think there's nothing moving about that. We expect that from Tank. Right. But I guess he wants to let it be known, and maybe that puts a little, I guess, question mark or not fear, so to speak, but something in Roach had, okay, he's coming to knock me out.
Yeah, when you got more experience than a guy, and you've been doing this longer like Tank have, your fight is not early. That's why he's saying you're a front runner. You're going to be out there early like the last guy did, get out there and look good early, but in those late 8, 9, 10, 11, what's going to happen then? You're going to run out of things to do. Now you're in here with a killer. What you going to do?
Yeah, but I wouldn't call him a front runner, though.
I'm not saying that's how.
I know Tank is saying that, but I wouldn't call him really a front runner though. I see that he has stamina. It seems like he works hard. I don't know why, but then again, Tank, he really depends on that. You know what I'm saying? For guys to get a little bit slower, run out of breath a little bit, and then I'm gonna destroy you.
Tank waits you out, lets you wear yourself down.
He does.
Then here he come, and he tell him, "I'm about to do the same thing for you."
Yeah, I
you understand me?
I think that Tank makes fighters feel that they're front runners, so to speak, because he's allowing a lot to happen early in the fight because he's, as they say, calculating data to set up for that counter shot. So I think he gives fighters a little too much confidence because of that. So maybe that talk about him starting slow is all strategic.
That's what I tell you. He's not starting slow. He's short. He's small, but he know he got power. So he's like, y'all not going to come to me thinking that I'm going to come to you because I got so much power. So I'm going to make y'all think I'm retreating. So you have to come to me. That's why.
All right, Barack, before we get out of here, I mean, you don't like making predictions, but I'm going to put you on the spot anyway. And
I'm not scared of the spot.
All right, if you're not scared of the spot, then how does this fight play out?
I don't make predictions, but nah. You know what it is? You judge a fight according to the past, what they've done, their experience already. So there's nothing really showing us that Roach can beat Tank. I'm not going to lie, But you never know if a man's great till he has the opportunity to show it.
To be great.
And that's it.
Roy?
Same here. You never know, but the thing I like about it is that Tank is also letting him know that, hey, I know you're here, but you're on my stage. That's why he walked all the way back across the stage to say some more to him. I know you're here, but you're on my stage. I'm the reason you're here. So don't get that misunderstood. By saying that, he's saying that, yes, you can have the early rounds. I'm not tripping. But in late rounds, you have to survive.
Yeah, I don't agree with Barack often, but I have to say it's hard to go against Gervonta Davis at this level and with what we've seen from Roach. I mean, anything can happen on any given Saturday.
If you don't agree with me often, that means you be wrong a lot.
But I'm going to go with Tank for this fight, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a very interesting showdown, and I know none of you want to miss it, so make sure Prime Video, PBC pay-per-view, and if there are any tickets left, Ticketmaster.com, you can go get it, scan the QR code, order the fight. You ain't going to want to miss this one. Peace and love. Stay safe. See you tomorrow.
March 1st, the most explosive man in boxing returns.
The legend of Gervonta Tank Davis.
In his path stands fellow world champ Lamont the Reaper Roach, looking to step in and take out the Tank.
Into the battleground. Ain't gonna stop me now. This is the final round.
That power is deadly.
We coming.
It's Tank versus Roach, Saturday live on PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime Video.